Stop me if you've heard this midlife crisis before. Guy who spent the last 30 years cooking almost nothing ever suddenly gets the inspiration to become a chef. Not professionally, but to aspire to become a god of the kitchen on the side. I've been watching more cooking shows lately, and one of the things that strikes me really hard about the most talented chefs is that their general knowledge about food is so good, they can literally just make shit up and have it be delicious. They'll be in a competition, they need to come up with an idea for using a weird ingredient that the show forces, and they will straight up just tread into unknown territory that they've never attempted before. They'll make a tiramisu dessert out of gas station snacks. They'll turn a slab of tofu into a cheesecake. They'll be like, well, I've never tried this before, but from what I understand about food, it can maybe be done. And then they do it and they get first place. I want the level of experience required to fuck around and stumble on amazing stuff. I want to be like, well, this ingredient is sweet, so I want to balance it out with some acidity from another ingredient. It's basically culinary alchemy. It's potions class. It's about knowing the properties of everything so you can know exactly what can theoretically go with what. To relate it to something I do know, I have to imagine it's like music. An instrumental improv can sound terrific and make people go, wow, how does he know exactly what notes to press and how does it all sound good when he's making it up as he goes? And the answer is probably similarly because I know the rules, the playing field. If you know scales in music, you know the range of what notes may or may not be acceptable to press at any given moment. If I'm doing an improv in the key of C major, then all notes that are in that scale are fair game. But I probably don't want to press the minor notes of C, like E flat or A flat as a rule, because they'll sound off key. Nothing is set in stone, though, because you'll watch the prestigious judges of these things, like 3-star Michelin chefs or food critics with decades of experience, taste something and go, yeah, I wouldn't have thought that this could go well with that. No amount of theory can fully predict reality. But you still need to study the basics so you can have bounds to work within and grow faster. If I had no idea which notes are in a C major scale, I'd have a much harder time coming up with C major track that sounds good. There's a bit of a revelation to be had here for me that I have stubbornly ignored for probably decades at this point, which is, it's not better to be self-taught. It's really not. Is it more impressive? Sure. You get to say that you learned everything you know from trial and error and grueling hours of purposeful ignorance, but in the end, you probably just got there slower than you would have otherwise. It's like a video game RPG. You can be self-taught and grind away at a skill to painstakingly raise it yourself with no outside influence or help, or you can activate the Thief Stone in Skyrim and level up your stealth skills 20% faster with the resources available to you. To deliberately choose a slower grind out of pride or ego is such a waste of time, and to be clear, I'm only condemning being self-taught if you're actually trying to make a career out of something or be the best you can be at it. If you play music for fun or you draw anime characters to pass the time, you don't have to go to school for that or study under a master or whatever, though it would still absolutely do fucking wonders if you did, and it's more fun to be better at a hobby than not. But if you're serious about something and you're ignoring outside resources, you probably have no idea what you're missing. I've done music in some form or another for 14 years. I'm 100% self-taught, and the result of that is that I've already hit my ceiling. I peaked years ago. I've learned nothing new since 2018, which is when I released my last instrumental album. Part of the reason I haven't done another one since is because I don't want to come out in 2025 with a new album 7 years later and have it sound exactly the fucking same. I have no new techniques. I could write 18 more songs in a heartbeat, but it would sound like a time capsule. I haven't seeked out more musical knowledge. There's still so much I straight up don't know how to do that I wish I did, and clinging to the idea of being self-taught like it's this pure untainted state of being does nothing but shoot holes in your foot every step of the way. It's why I haven't seriously pursued music. Ideally, I would like to someday write soundtracks for video games. I think I have the creativity to pull that off, but I have none of the technical background or sound engineering know-how to make something sound professional grade. I don't know how to bring the melody to the front of a track or mix anything beyond what it happens to sound like when I record the notes. I am dead in the water under any professional scrutiny or standards, but hey, at least I get to say I'm self-taught. Anyway, so I want to cook more, but to do that I have to study. I have to learn the basics, not just so my food actually turns out good, but because culinary mistakes are expensive. Ingredients cost money and it doesn't feel good to waste them. If you want to watch the show that really spurred this desire in me, it's a Korean reality competition show on Netflix called Culinary Class Wars. 100 of the best and most famous chefs in Korea go in, only one comes out a champion. Watching the people on there make not just their signature dishes, but interesting twists and elevations on classic ones was like going to a black church and feeling the voice of God in your kneecaps. You know that scene in the Elvis movie where he goes to one and he feels the music and the electricity in the air so hard he basically has a seizure? Well, it wasn't quite like that for me, but a desire switched on in my brain, and now I want to cook. Anything, everything. I used to be too lazy half the time to even cook top ramen. Now there's a spring in my step and an enthusiasm for cooking even the most basic shit. Before this, I still made a couple things, like I'd make spaghetti, or fry a barely seasoned pork chop with the vim and vigor of a half-tranked elephant, but now I want to know how to elevate stuff. And even if I don't, I'm still excited to get in the rhythm of the kitchen. The only problem now is that this excitement does not apply to dishwashing. Why can't apartments have real dishwashers? When I worked at that pizza place as a dishwasher, you could take a rack of dishes, hose them off with a super-powered flexible faucet, slide them as a unit nestled inside this open rack container thing into this ancient-looking yet futuristic machine, slam the outer doors down like it's a dumbwaiter, press the wash button, and those dishes would be sparkling in less than a minute. This was 12 years ago. Apartments and houses get these machines that look nice, but they take a damn hour to do anything. You put a pot in, press the button, and come back after the search party for your missing kid turns up nothing for the day. There's no convenience, there's no thoroughfare or conveyor belt for the dishes to be in a crate and slide through. Instead, you gotta individually place each dish in a wilderness puzzle to try and fit as much in there as you can, because if something doesn't make it in, you're not using it that day. It's an open, bleak desert of pegs, and you're like, I'll put this plate here. Oh, wait, I can't, because then I can't fit the pan here. Is it okay for shot glasses to be put with the regular glasses, or do I have to stick them in the silverware thing? Speaking of regular glasses, how exactly do I have to fucking situate these things so they stay tight and don't rattle around? I put one in, it's nice and sturdy and solid. I put another one in right next to it, it's loose. It's flopping around like it wants to escape. Beyond that, why do all my glasses stick to the fucking counter? I rinse my glass out, I put it on the counter, a few hours later I go to put it in the dishwasher, it's super glued to the goddamn marble. I did not wet the bottom of the glass, I only rinsed the inside, my counter is not made of Scotch tape, nor did I ejaculate on it recently. Why is it sticky? Home dishwashing is a puzzle game. It's like Tetris, except the blocks aren't moving and I still can't decide where they go. As for hand washing, what year is it? 6? I ain't hand washing dishes. Oh, you want me to go dry my clothes outside on a rope too? Just so a thief can zip line down it during an escape and knock all my clothes onto the street? I don't live in Agrabah, my dude. Every time somebody's one jump ahead of the breadline, I don't want to have to go rewash my linens. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my other videos while you wait for your dishes to be clean, and I'll see you guys next time.